So what I know about this code is that this is actually a header 3, which there's no way this should be a header 3. This should be a header 1. So how do we change this in WordPress to a header 1? It's a good question. Really simple. What you Hey, what's up guys? So today I'm going to be teaching you on how to change the header tag from H1, H2 or H3 in your WordPress. Now don't forget, WordPress is in 3 different segments. You've got the pages, which is just a page, so this is just a page with a sidebar, and then you've got the categories, which are categories which list the posts. So 3 different pages. You've got the post, the categories and the pages. Now I've run a test online, and basically this title up here has bounced back as being header 3, H3 tag. So how do we check this? We simply highlight the text and we can just right click on it and click on view source. Now I'm using Google Firefox. So it depends on what you guys are using, Google Chrome or something. You could probably see view selected source, view source or something like this. And you might have a few more tabs on there. Just click on view source. Now as you can see, I get this code come up and it's showing up as H3 class categories title. So this class that I'm looking at is actually named category title. And in here it says the WordPress. This is just the code way of saying and, so don't worry, that just and then the whole title, and then there's a closing bracket of the H3 tag. We've got the H3 tag at the end and at the beginning right here. So what I know about this code is that this is actually a header 3, which there's no way this should be a header 3. This should be a header 1. So how do we change this in WordPress to a header 1? It's a good question. Really simple. What you need to do is get into your back end. So in this case, I got into the FTP. Now this would be inside, this is your actual template. So you will need to locate the location by looking at your template. So you could do this by logging into your cPanel or your FTP. If you don't know how to do that, look at more tutorials on how to get into your back panel FTP. But we've logged into the server now, and I've got the server here, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically, I'm gonna show you where it is. So once we went into the actual website, we see the WordPress, the themes, which is the theme is up here, as you can see, okay? And what we do is we're in the actual theme now. That's what we're seeing on the screen is the theme. We need to look for something that says the page, okay? When we zoom out, okay, this is the page that we've got, and when we right clicked on it, we saw that it was a header 3. So to change this from a header 3, what we're gonna have to do is obviously find the page. Now we've got category, as you can see on the screen. We've got the page, which is what we need, because there's no other thing. Obviously you've got the search, the index, the footer, which is, right at the bottom. So we need to look at the page in this case. So we take the page and we drag it out, okay, and we're just gonna drop it here in anywhere on your desktop from the FTP. I'm dragging it out. Now you need to edit this, so you can use you can even use you can even use text editor. So you can just open it with Notepad if you don't have any coding. Now when we go down, okay, we can see here straight away, okay, remember I said we're looking for this code right here, categories title, class, categories title. Well, look at this, in front of it says H3. So what we're gonna have to do is change that to H1 at the end, and closed off by H1. And that's it. All we've done is we've actually changed that title. Now, how did I know that this was the actual code that I needed to change? Pretty simple, okay? Again, if I go out to WordPress and I highlight this, right click and click on view source, I know that this is called class category title. So I can copy that, right click and copy, or Control and C. And then when I go into the text editor, I can press Control and F, okay, which will bring up the find module. And in here, we can just right click and paste. And then when we click on find next, maybe we got too much, so just let's do category title like that, find next. It's not picking it up. Even though it's here, it's not picking it up unfortunately in pad. So this is why I'll tend to not use the pad, okay? If you are using it, you're gonna find it a bit difficult. Now, this is pretty cool that I've done this, because you guys can see that it doesn't really pick up the text that well in here in the notepad. If you can download something called Notepad++ online, so the links are below the video and also on the website, so you can click on it and you got 3 links to download this Notepad++. And here, once you open the notepad, it will all look a bit more better. So now if we click on Control and F, we can look for that category title again. It will pick it up straight away here at the top. Look, you see it? It highlighted it for us. So let's click on that find, and you see it right here. It's been highlighted automatically. So we click off of it, click on find, and when we go back, you can see it's highlighted. So we know that this works. So I do apologize, but it's a good thing that we've done it in the text editor, because we can see it's not picking it up right. So we know that the text is coming from this code here on this page. So again, we're going to change this to H1 because I didn't save it. And we're just going to save this basically. So at the top here, file and save. Now once we save it, pretty cool. We've saved the file, so we can close it down or just minimize it, whatever. We've got the page here. Now, instead of us just overwriting this page in case we've done a mistake, we're just gonna save the backup of this. So as soon as we change the file name of this, like let's say php.backup, it doesn't become a PHP file anymore. It becomes just a file on a page that's not being used. See that? So it's just become like a backup page. See that? Backup file. So we're no longer, that page is no longer being used. If we go to our website, we'll probably get an error. So let's have a look. So we refresh the page. Go at the top, refresh. See that? Nothing is loading up because the page just doesn't exist anymore. So let's go to the page, drag and drop it over. The page is now been dragged over to our server. So if we refresh the page, at the top, just press refresh, enter. Okay, might take a second. Still not loading. Let me see, did the page load up in here? Page. There it is, page PHP. So it's in there. We just need to refresh the page. So it's not loading. There we go. So it took a time for the server to kick in because I'm using cache. So I just clicked in there, press refresh, and it's loaded. Right. Now, this title at the top should be header 1. So remember we changed the code, so we can highlight it again and we can right click on it, click on view source, and there you go. If you look at the code, it's changed to class 1. See that? Class 1, open bracket and close bracket. So open bracket and close bracket. Pretty simple. So there you guys go. This is how you can modify H1 tags and H2 in FL Studio of your main actual page, posts, and any other pages that came with the template. So in a theme, you would actually edit that. Now the reason we do that is because we want the main title of the page to be header 1 for SEO purposes. This gives us the best SEO results. The title always needs to be header 1. Then followed at the bottom, you would have header 2, which is I've done here. As you can see, this is header 2. And then that would be followed, if there's anything underneath, inside that one, it would be header 3. And then if I want to start a new category, then header 2 again. But you would never have a header 1 again. Header 1 is only used once on a page. So remember that. As soon as you start using 2 header 1s on the same page, you will start getting penalized. Now, the thing is, a lot of people, what they tend to do is they tend to, on certain pages, they tend to put a lot more than one page of header. So 1 page of header doesn't make sense. They tend to put a lot of header 1 tags like this. For example, this is header 1 on the categories. Now, this is actually okay in a certain way because this is only a category page. It's not the main page. So Google would pick this up as, or any other search engine, a category page, wish list, or your other pages. So you wouldn't actually get penalized because you've got the header 1 and some text underneath, which is all good for search engines. And then underneath you've got all the, you know, the posts that we've posted. For example, if we look at the header 1 tags, this is explains more about header 1s and header 2s and how it works. If you guys are interested, the link is below the video. You guys can read more on header 1 tags, how they work, and everything you need to know about what they do. I 100% recommend you reading this because it will give you more depth on why you should be using header 1 tags in your website for SEO purposes, and it helps the search engines rank you. And with the header 1 tags, you know, you get better ranks. So header 1, header 2, header 3, and header 4, which are rarely used, but it's pretty cool if you do use them because the algorithm in the search engines will pick you up way better. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is Path. My name is Path, if you don't know, and I'm here from allseobasics.com. If you are interested in downloading, sorry, my voice is going. If you are interested in downloading the Note Plus, the link is below. If you are interested in reading more about header 1s, the link is below. Apart from that, peace out. See you guys soon.